Whoa, hey, I didn't see you there. So, I have a small guide for you. I see all the time that people always go for what's best or what looks good in these types of games, level farming games. Uh, I'm on Blox Roots right now. It's a super popular Roblox game. But I normally play Warframe or uh, I know people who play Elden Ring. It doesn't matter what looks good. I'll talk about this game first because I don't know much about Elden Ring. Uh, in this game, it's a One Piece game, but you know, copyright. In this game, you have these things, fruits. All of these things down here. You always try and find what you like or what looks cool. But if you're trying to level grind like I am, don't go for what looks cool. Go for what has a M1. This. A basic click ability. Click, tap, whatever you're on. Mobile tap ability. Click on PC. Or trigger ability. These fruits are the best to have in Blox fruits. Pretty much any One Piece game. This one is the fox fruit. I'm not gonna keep saying the name because it's annoying to say as much as I love it. But this one has a 4-style slash ability for an M1. Like that. See? And you don't need to go overboard with your abilities. Yes, you can use them all the time to get better damage done, but you don't always need to use them. Using just the M1 and maybe a damage booster ability if you have one, or a knockback ability like, let's say, this one, the triangle ability, Tales of the Agony, of Burning Agony. It helps with knockback and crowd control if you're transformed. You don't need to transform. You just need to be able to keep an enemy around you and do enough damage. But with this fruit, the M1 gives the enemy burning effect. See, overtime status effects always help in these games because you can do extra damage, or you can use this ability, Accursed Enchantment. If you hold it around someone, you'll do extra damage if they're on fire using it, but it also does overtime damage. If you hold it, it will do what I just showed you. Cursed Enchantment, it'll stay there and it'll let you do double the damage that you normally do. And then after after the wait time is over for the ability, it'll blow up. See? Like that. Or another really good fruit, a couple really good fruits with M1s are the ice fruit and the light fruit. I'm not even going to talk about this one. Or rubber isn't always too good for grinding levels, but you do you, can't stop you. But light and ice are really good because they have an M1 sword. And then the another fruit is this fruit. One sec. The T-Rex fruit. It has a similar M1, but it's not too slow. If you have the money, buy this fruit, or buy a permanent version of a fruit with an M1, like the Light and Ice or T-Rex and Fox. You don't always need to look cool, but if you are going for max damage, try and go for a... These are from 3rd C. This is from 2nd C, same with this. But try and go for pink coat or this one, black coat. Or the cool shades. They give... Try and look for something with extra movement speed or extra damage. Movement speed helps with the slashing ability, and you can keep moving around and keeping your enemies at a distance if you're using a Zoan type or a Paramecia. Zoan type being an animal, Paramecia being like rubber, or like rubber, spider, portal, sound, venom, ghost, barrier, diamond, and falcon. Logias are always easy to use in level grinding, but the best one for the 1st C normally is the Zoan type Buddha, but it is on a rare occasion able to get, but it is one of the hardest fruits to roll in the 1st C, so your best option is either light, is mostly light because it has good damage, good M1, and it has crowd control. I can't showcase it because this is the only fox fruit I have, and I don't have money. I am struggling. But if I was to showcase it, look up the Blox Fruits wiki, go to Blox Fruits, and then look up the fruit you are trying to use. Most of the time, people don't go for crowd control when it isn't always the easiest. Crowd control being like AoE, area of effect, like that. Or if I transform, like this. If I miss this fruit, or this ability, one sec. If I miss this ability, it causes an AoE move. But if I hit it, it causes a one-person attack. So if you are trying to hit multiple enemies, go for an AoE-based fruit. Or one with an M1. And then weapons. If you are trying to go weapon only, don't try and outright buy whatever, again, looks cool. Go for, or look up what is the best for you or best for damage. Like the triple katana is good for the slashes. This one right here. This one is good for... I'm on PlayStation, this is annoying. Or if you're in 1st C, try and go for this one, because it has the slash ability. And you can aggro people and hit multiple people with the violent rush. But then there is also the Bicento, which does cost $1 million. I am dying easily. See, not everybody is good. That's what happens when you use Zoans. Logias, there's this thing called Elemental Reflex. It'll let you take no damage at a certain level higher than your current enemies. Like the magma, the light, the ice, the fire, dark, sand, smoke, and a couple others that I don't have. try and go for those. That's why I said go for light, because it has a really good M1, good damage, good crowd control, and you can even hit one-on-one. Reflection kick, the ability shoots you up into the air toward an enemy, and you kick a light beam down on the ground. It is an AoE move. It can hit multiple enemies or multiple targets at once. Same with the barrage of light and the first ability, the Mastery 1 ability. They all can hit multiple enemies at once and do good damage to all of the enemies hit by it. But if you're going for a gun, I don't always use them. I don't know anything about the guns. These are from 2nd C. This is from 2nd C, 3rd C. This is from 1st C. This is in Upper Sky. And then Soul Cane is a good sword too, 1st C, Magma Island. Or the Warden's Blade. I don't know too much about it. I don't always use it. Multi-target slash is an AoE move. Does good damage if you have max sword stats or good sword stats. Mine's at 600. That brings me to another topic, your mastery. If you're trying to go for only one weapon, like a sword or a gun, guns don't do the most damage and they don't have good AoE move. But swords, they have good AoE, they can hit multiple targets right in front of you. Try and go for a Logia, even if it's the worst one, like Smoke or Dark. But you could use a Saber once you get to 300. It has good moves. Deadly Rush, I don't have all of them. Deadly Rush, it pushes 2 slashes towards an enemy, can hit multiple targets. Most swords with a slash ability can hit multiple targets. Oh, damn. I was meant to go try and find that. But if you're going for 2nd C, try the Midnight Blade or the Rengoku. Sorry, I gotta get this person off my back. There we go. Try and put most of your stuff into Blox fruits and defense. You don't need all too much melee if you're not using melee, but it is really good to use if you're just starting out. Melee is the first thing you get. It's the combat fighting style. Or you can try just using a Logia with an M1, or sword with a crappy Logia, but keep leveling up above the enemy's level. The elemental reflex varies for different enemies of higher level. I put most of my stuff into, I'm trying to get into more swords. I'm getting Dark Blade, or looking to get a Dark Blade, and then put most in defense because that's your health. And then you don't need all too much energy. See, I don't use too much energy when I'm using my abilities. Most of them use my tail energy. You don't need all too much energy. Try and go for like 2,000 to 3,000 once you have enough to put into fruit, sword, or defense and melee. And then the best, sorry, I'm tired. The best stuff to go for is either, the marine coat, the black cape, or the pink coat. Pink coat is found at prison. The marine coat is found at Marineford, the Marine Fortress Island, which is, I believe, 200. Warden is like uh, 300, I believe. And the black coat is hidden in one of the castles at Marine Fortress 2. And then the cool shades is at the last island you'll go to in First Sea, which is the Fountain City. And that's a rare chance to get from the hardest boss in First Sea. And here's a good tip for when you're using a fruit with an M1. See, I have my M1. See if she's here. She's not. Try and get the enemy on the other side of a wall. Not a too big of a wall unless you're using Mammoth or a fruit that has an M1 in transformation like Leopard and Mammoth. But try and get an enemy through a wall or even beside a 1-inch thick wall. They can't hurt you because of a AoE hitbox or a hitbox glitch. Normally people call it the wall strap, but they can't hurt you unless they have abilities. But you can hit them easily through the wall. Let's see if I can bring one of these towards a wall. If they can jump or have that ability, this one, they can teleport. But if they don't, try and get them through a wall and try and hit them through the wall. This helps the most when fighting stronger opponents. The best thing to do in First Sea is go to the Fountain City and attack the galley pirates if you have good enough stats into whatever you're using. Sword, gun, blocks, fruits, melee. They are locked between a 1-inch wall as big as this, and they can't hit you with their sword because of a hitbox error. And they have massive health and give a good enough amount of blocks, fruit, or XP for whatever you're using. But that is all for today. That is my tiny guide to helping you grind in Blox fruits. I am trying to figure out a outro for these videos. I am not too good at this, but until next time, I will try and give more tips.